Welcome back to the pregame show, everybody. Here's a look at the lineup brought to you by McDonald's, and we highlight at this point Boyd Devereaux, Paul, because he finally gets an opportunity this season to play in the bigs.
Yeah, polished guy on and off the ice, a true professional. Great to see him back, and I'd have to think Mark Morrow, he fits into the lineup perfectly as a penalty killer, and in terms of speed, he'll suit Ron Wilson just fine.
Oh, absolutely. I think if you were to compare him to anybody at the start of the year, it would have been Dominic Moore. Obviously, Dominic Moore has really taken on an offensive role, and he's having a career year that way. But boy, Devereaux really has that speed and that hockey intelligence and smarts out there that he can be a reliable penalty killer, a reliable checker. And let's face it, he's not going to have many nerves this. He's got over 600 games with Edmonton, Detroit, Phoenix, and Toronto over the last couple of years. So he's looking forward to this opportunity. And as well has won a Stanley Cup ring. What do you like about his game, Bob?
Well, for me, I think he's just a guy, he brings consistency every single night. You know what you're going to get from Boyd Devereaux. And, you know, Mark, you talked about him being a true professional of over 600 games in the National Hockey League. You know, he went down to the minors at the start of this year. He didn't hang his head. He didn't pout. And he's a great guy to have with your young players in the minor leagues because he comes to work each and every single day in practice. And every game he comes and he works his tail off. And he's a good role model for the young players. So he can step in the lineup here tonight and make a contribution in a lot of different ways.
Well, a younger guy who certainly works his tail off each and every night. Fourth line player and center for this Maple Leaf team, John Mitchell. He is standing by with our Greg Millen.
I would assume the coach's message here tonight, the tired hockey club you're playing against, is to get a good start like you did last game, except score.
Exactly. That's what we want to do. We want to get pucks in, get them behind them, pressure their D a lot, hit them, and tire them out right from the get-go so that the rest of the game they don't really want to go back for those pucks, and then we can make some more plays.
Now, the skills competition last week, you were the fastest skater. Does that help your confidence a little bit, knowing that in this league and using your speed perhaps a little more as this season progresses?
Yeah, I think so a little bit. You know, it's nice to know that I won that competition there with the skill of trying to skate around the rink real quick. So that is a boost of confidence a little bit. And so hopefully I want to be able to use my speed a little bit more, take the puck and go wide and see what happens.
Have some fun tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Greg. And John Mitchell, one of the reasons why Boyd Devereaux ended up with the Toronto Marlies. I mean, they're getting younger here, and if John can do the same things, then he's going to stay up here.
Well, you're right. I mean, for me last year, it was his season of scoring 20 goals in the minors and another 8 goals in the playoffs last year for the Toronto Marlies as they made their run to the Western Conference Finals. So they wanted to inject some youth into this lineup. And here's John Mitchell, a guy in his junior career had 70 to 80 points his last couple of years. So he's trying to look to get that next step, take his game to another level. And I think Ron Wilson said this week that as the season moves on, he's going to give him some more quality ice time to see if he can start putting some points on the board.
Dominic Moore's had a career year, 15 points, by the way, in his last 12 games, and all he does is make everyone around him better, Mark.
Absolutely, and he certainly formed some real chemistry with Jason Blake. You want to talk about making somebody better, somebody who was having a hard time here in Toronto and now has just become explosive. And Dominic Moore, it's all about his intelligence. He can play whatever role you ask him to play out there, whether it be offensive, defensive, and we sound like a bit of a broken record when we say that, but he's become a valuable member of this team.
You mentioned Jason Blake, 21 points in his last 14 games, and Bob McGill, 4 winning goals. This guy is the hottest of Leafs.
Well, he is. The last 4 victories for the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's got the game-winning goal in each game, and, he's a guy that's really, he's put the past behind him, and I think, as Mark alluded to, the chemistry that he's got with Dominic Moore right now, I mean, these two guys together are clicking on all cylinders, and Jason Blake, it's very refreshing to see him walk around the dressing room even here at game day where he's got a great smile on his face, he's very relaxed, and he's just playing some terrific hockey for the Maple Leafs.
We mentioned Rick Nash. I said 4 consecutive 20-goal seasons. Let's redo the math. 5 consecutive 20-goal seasons. The all-time leading goal scorer in franchise history with 154. He, too, had a chance to talk with Greg Millen.
Rick, your coach is going for number 500 tonight. What has Ken Hitchcock brought to this group that's getting you closer to the playoffs as a team?
Yeah, we're an all-around team now. We're obviously defensive-minded and playing his style system, and it's quite an accomplishment to get to that.
You're one of the leaders of the hockey team. You've been in all kinds of world championships and in pressure situations. In terms of leadership, what do you bring to this club now as you're trying to make the playoffs for the first time as an organization?
I try my best to lead by example. We're lucky we got a lot of older guys, Freddie Modine, Michael Pekka, that have been through these situations. And, if I can lead by example, I think the guys will follow.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
24 goals for Rick Nash, and we look at some of the other players. Christian Huselius, of course, offering some help, and R.J. Umberger. Jakub Voracek tied with another good rookie, Mikhail Grabowski. So they do have a little bit of depth, Bob, when it comes to offense.
Well, they do. I mean, Rick Nash isn't just a one-trick pony anymore in Columbus. He's got a couple of guys riding shotgun with him, and R.J. Umberger was a huge deal that they got him from the Philadelphia Flyers this past summer, and you know, a guy that's averaging 18.5 minutes of ice time. He's one goal away from his career high. He's got 19 on the year. He scored 20 as a rookie back in 05-06. But you know what? R.J. Umberger's the guy that, again, along with Rick Nash, they have to continue to score goals on a consistent basis if the Columbus Blue Jackets want to make the playoffs for the first time in their franchise history.
R.J. Umberger traded in the offseason back to his so-called hometown, played his college hockey in Columbus. Why has it been a good fit, do you think, Mark Morrow, in terms of 19 goals so far for him this season?
Well, I think it's what Bob alluded to. It takes some of that pressure off of Rick Nash, and it also helps provide some veteran leadership and experience. If you look at his time with Philadelphia last year, he had that incredible playoff run where he had 10 goals in their 17 playoff games. He became a real reliable player, showing he knows what it takes to win in the playoffs, and that's something this Columbus team really needs.
Okay, Paul Henrik, we got to send you down to ice level. You got a busy night ahead as we prepare for our game, Columbus Blue Jackets and Leafs, right here on Leafs TV. And while I send you on your way, I'm going to send you to watch this morning's interview with R.J. Umberger. Not a guy of many words, but certainly some surprises. A kid from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who played all of his hockey pretty much in Philadelphia. I thought for sure he'd go home in the offseason, but not so. Oh no, he has ties to Ohio. Have a listen.
Yeah, it's like a second home to me. Going to college there, it's close for me. A lot of family can come to the games, and I have all those friends there. So, you know, it's second home, and I love it there, and it's a good fit right now.
A big football fan? I heard that. Ohio State's like the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Absolutely. So. The Buckeyes rule the town. You know, it's Buckeyes 24/7 there.
But starting to get more and more hockey fans.
Yeah, there's a buzz going around the city right now. You know, we're playing a lot better. There's fans that come to the games, and you know, there's a playoff atmosphere there. They want to see us in there, and they're ready for the next step.
And you're really close to your career high, aren't you?
Yeah, goals-wise, you know, it's the puck's been going in the net this year a little bit better, and you know, I just kind of been finding myself around the blue of the net, and you know, getting in front of the goalie, and things been happening. And
just on Monday, you had quite the pair of goals, as a matter of fact, hitting the record book.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments where everything kind of went right. The momentum of our team was going the right direction in the second period, and you know, I got two pucks in front of the net and just got them past the goal. What was it, a minute 29? Yeah, it was something like that. You know, just the back-to-back shifts, and it doesn't really happen often like that, but it was pretty cool. Keeping fit to be doing those back-to-back shifts like that. But you talk a little bit about your teammates as well. I mean, you're playing with some serious talent. You're talented in your own right, but you're also playing with some amazing guys. Yeah, there's a lot of talent on this team this year. We've done a great job of bringing in new guys, and then the guys that have here before have done a great job. You know, Nash is a world-class player, and Christian's playing well, and you know, on defense, Commodore's really stepped up his game this year. We have a real rounded team this year from goalie on out. You know, Mason's been incredible. Yeah, no kidding, and not to mention some characters in the room as well. I mean, Commodore's funny. Yeah, Commodore, Bull, you know, Dorsett, they're great guys for a team. You know, you don't have a good team without those kind of guys that bring down the mood and just make it fun to play. Well, we really appreciate you having a chat with us today, and we do have a little point streak going with the guys that are here, so maybe you'll get that 20th goal of the season for you tonight. Perfect, sounds good. Cheers, thanks. Thank you. Not if Justin Pogge has anything to say about it. Justin Pogge getting a back-to-back start for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, yes, an opportunity to get that win on home ice, and you know what? Columbus Blue Jackets haven't beat the Toronto Maple Leafs since 2003. That's one thing you need to know. More things that you need to know are straight ahead on Molson Canadian Leaf Nation pregame show presented by Tim Hortons. The guys are going to share some items of note next. Stick around.